So I gave myself a week to learn backgrounds, or at least the basics of it. Obviously, I'll do more past this, but I needed to just start somewhere. It was a week the smartest choice. We shall see. But I had to do it in a week's time because I said I would do it in a week's time in a YouTube post. I know myself and I work well, or at least just get things done under pressure, public pressure. That's how the whole challenge came about. I announced things like everyone's waiting for it and we'll be watching it when I post it. And why a week? Because the shorter the time limit, the less likely I am to procrastinate. Hence, 1 week instead of 1 month. If I had told myself I was going to learn this through all of April, I inevitably would have pushed this off through May. That's we got to work smarter, not harder. At least if I say 1 week, we know that it's gonna happen within the span of that week, which is a lot easier said than done. Then again with the month, but my problem is simultaneously starting and not knowing when to stop, if that makes sense. Hence why I then only gave myself 1 hour on each piece because it forces me not to overthink things and just compose. If you've seen my video about learning to code and building my first website, then you know giving myself a time limit to learn things isn't new. But I normally like to do it with a more like technical and textbook start to things as far as my learning goes before jumping like straight into the do phase. However, when it came to backgrounds, I figured I would be a little non-traditional and just jump right into style study since my biggest hurdle when it comes to backgrounds is finding my own style. I've tried doing backgrounds before, mostly through the heavy usage of a random dot of color and the Gaussian blur. I'm married to that technique. I'm sorry. Or at least I have been. I have also used some pre-made brushes like here and there, but they're kind of hard for me to like adjust to my style because I really just don't know what I'm doing right now. I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily trying to like move away from pre-made brushes, especially since I have really enjoyed the Studio Ghibli-esque brushes that I found. And as someone who is making a webtoon, pre-made brushes will help me speed up some parts of this already lengthy process. So I'm not trying to do away with it, but these brushes don't necessarily work for me when I have no idea about how to put them together to make a background. Just because I get a grass brush does not all of a sudden mean I know how to make a grassy hill flowing in the background, you know? Speaking of grassy hills, some of my favorite backgrounds in media come from the films of Hayao Miyazaki. Go figure, from the Studio Ghibli brushes, right? And Steven Universe, if you couldn't maybe tell, I think from my general art aesthetic. I just love the way that Miyazaki brings this majestic feelings to his backgrounds through the use of nature. Even when scenes are set in areas of civilization, you're never separated as a viewer from the influence and power or intentional removal of that power and influence of nature. And if you're familiar with Steven Universe, you know the show's backgrounds are popular for their striking colors and glowy aesthetic. Very nice, very vibey. And I know it's going to be very, very ambitious for somebody who doesn't really do backgrounds, but my eventual goal is to have my style incorporate a combination of these things. Normally, I would do a few studies of each style, but remember, we're speed running this little learning session, so we're going for quality in the few that we do. But guys, I was seriously struggling when it came to starting this, and you don't just have to take my word for it. So I'm going to give you guys over to the weekly Jayuses and have them show you for themselves. I should just go to bed. Okay. So I decided it's like 11:45, 11:44. It's Monday. I should definitely be asleep, especially because I was late for the very first time ever to work this morning. I'm gonna give myself 15 minutes. We're gonna set a little timer. We're gonna give ourselves 15 minutes, and we're just gonna do grass. I guess, yeah. We're gonna do grass. There we go. Oh my god, I forgot that I wanted to do like Steven Universe stuff. Oh my gosh. What is up, you guys? My name is Jayus, and welcome back to my channel. We are doing things a little differently today, this week, this month. Really, you're gonna have to forgive me. I am just so tired. I should not be doing this right now, but we are, because I have to show up even when I don't want to. That's just a lesson of life, and you know what? I will be so much better for it. I kept telling myself I was going to set like a 15-minute timer, and the longer that I take to do this intro, the more I'm like, maybe 13 minutes. But no, we're going to do 15, and then I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to be very disciplined. But what I am doing is an April art challenge of sorts. It's not like a real challenge, but I had like all these things that I wanted to make videos on, but I felt myself like procrastinating because I was like, no, I'm not like good enough yet, like with the art skills that I have to really showcase that the way that I want to. Um, so I just had an idea of, rather than trying to do that and then feeling like I'm not really getting anywhere, um, as far as like making videos on this channel or other things, maybe the best way to handle that would be to, just do it as kind of like a little mini series where you guys get to follow me as I force myself to learn things, or at least the basics of it. Because how much can I really learn in a week? We're gonna try our best. We are, but am I going to add to my mini list of things as an everyman artist that I can do backgrounds? I don't know. We'll see. It is literally only Monday, except for in 12 minutes when it will be Tuesday. And I meant to start this yesterday, but yesterday was Easter, so we didn't do that. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to do like a little bit every day, and my goal honestly is maybe to build up on something in like the last video of this like series. I was thinking like maybe I would do, have like a background. I was doing backgrounds anatomy, and then I thought side profiles, but like if you guys have any other suggestions, you'll have to let me know, and maybe I will consider learning that instead. Side profiles weren't really like high on my list of things that I wanted to learn. It was just kind of I might as well, because like they're not like my favorite aspect of my art. But yeah, so I'm gonna take 15 minutes. It's already 11:50, pretty much, but it's okay. I'm going to take 15 minutes. We are going to learn something, even if it is just some grass. And that's just gonna have to be where we stop for the day. It's gonna be fine. But we gotta start somewhere, and this is gonna help, because if I wait until tomorrow, I'm gonna push it off until Wednesday, and then I'm gonna be scrambling on Thursday, and that is how procrastination works, you guys. So we gotta start. We gotta show up, even when we don't want to. Okay, it's 11:50. It's 11:50. I'm getting started right now. We are gonna do 15 minutes. Why did I do it this way? Like, honestly, like, don't get me wrong. I love myself. I do. A lot. But why did I choose to do it this way? I don't even know if my tour box is set up for... Thank you for saying... I knew it. I knew you were in Clip Studio Paint. I knew it. Okay. We're still learning this thing, by the way. Oh my God. I told myself I was just going to use basic brushes. I really like Studio Ghibli backgrounds. Eventually, I'm gonna try to figure out if there's like a quote unquote like right way to layer this stuff. But honestly, I think it's just about whatever works. Oh my God, it's so dark. Guys, am I crazy? This is this does not look so bad right now. You know, we're only like literally two little layers in, but this doesn't look so hideous, you know? It's like now that I see it, I didn't really give myself like time really to think about this. And in a way, I'm kind of glad, right? Because I think I would have just sat here and been like, oh my God, um, what do I do for this? And what do I do for this? And you know what? There's some merit in that for sure. But also, sometimes you just, I think, just gotta jump in. I'm not doing well with this color picking, like at all. The other thing that I'm like super nervous about is a lot of this that I'm about to like base all of my study off of, right, is lighting. So um it's not just like, oh, yeah, you got to learn backgrounds. It's also the lighting. Oh, I don't feel as confident, but you know what? It's gonna be fine. It's totally gonna be fine. I think even if I can just get through whatever this is supposed to look like, I think that's gonna be okay. Um, and I will still count that as some sort of okay, come on, friend. Here we go. Don't fail me now, okay? I will still count this as some sort of um success. There we go. Success. Does anybody watch Chit? Because you know what? If I post this and you guys just think I'm some sort of weirdo and you're like, what is she talking about? I'm gonna lose my mind. Chit just recently came out with an Easter um thing. I'm kind of looking forward to that. But you know what? It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna get some more blue going on in here. You know what? I'm not gonna Gaussian blur it. I'm not gonna Gaussian blur it. I told myself we're not gonna use that because I Gaussian blur stuff all the time. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do is paint over it. I don't know how much time I have. I am so certain actually that I have no time. But we're just gonna see. We're gonna try maybe painting over it a little bit, see how this works. It's like I want to keep the reference up here, but I also don't want it to completely like I don't want it to completely guide me in this, you know? You know what I mean? This guy knows what I'm talking about. Have y'all gone to see the Beetlejuice the musical? You know what? I actually kind of do now that I think about it. This is why I did the painting. Um, Maybe what I'll do like in the future is like obviously like color in lines a little bit more. But I do actually want like a textured like line art with this, you know? I don't just want it to be um I don't just want it to be like no lines at all. I think that will fit a little bit better anyway with like the general style that I have. I'm trying to like recognize that this thing behind and in between, like that we're doing is like also like a tree itself, you know? I really should have started in the background. That's where I should have started. We're not going to talk about it. Okay. Honestly, I know I said it before about like, oh my God, does this look good? And I was kidding. But actually, I think for me, just kind of like scribbling across this page for like 2 seconds, that doesn't look too bad. My very first uh drawing, you guys. My very first background. Actually, have I done backgrounds? I think I have a couple like on here. I'm gonna go through those later. If I stay up any longer tonight, I'm gonna lose my mind, I think. I'm gonna really try. No. Can I like... Okay, I'm not gonna redo it. I'm not gonna redo it. We're gonna be on it. We're gonna be honest. That was our timer. That was our timer. And this is where we're at after 15 minutes. And you know what? You know what? Guys, I'm being so serious when I say actually for what it's supposed to be, right? Which is just starting starting myself on this journey, learning how to make backgrounds. I actually really don't think this is all that bad. I have this urge in me right now to like actually work on it and finish it and spend more time, but we're not. I'm gonna force myself to leave it imperfect and to let it be bad for a moment. I feel like I could do like an entire think piece on that, but the idea is there. At least to me, I can see where I was going, you know, like with this what was this supposed to be? A rock. It was a rock. It was a rock. Okay. But okay. I feel like with the right I feel like with the right maybe sketch brush, I can make this feel a little bit more together because I'm just not really a lineless person. That's not my art style. I didn't say this in the intro because I was too tired to remember. But actually, I think I really enjoy. I'm just someone who, you know, I don't really do like a lineless thing, but I'm trying to get better at backgrounds because I'm working on a webtoon and I didn't want my webtoon to be kind of subjected to the quote unquote like floating head syndrome. I think it works really well in a lot of webtoons, but mine, I was being very intentional about the set changes, as you will. So I wanted you to know like where my characters were. There are a lot still of like areas where, you know, it's like a tan thing with a slightly shaped gradient in the back, just to let you know, they're inside the wall of a building. But I have like these scenes. I see scenes in my head, but you know, if you're not new to the channel, you know I have aphantasia, which means I actually can't see anything in my head. There's nothing up here. When I say like I'm seeing stuff or it's not what I'm envisioning in my mind, I'm lying to you. Actually, I have no vision in my mind, but it comes out on the page anyway. So who cares? But you know, the whole point of me wanting to get better with backgrounds, and naturally, I think I'm going to get better with backgrounds as I continue to develop and work on my webtoon. But I wanted to kind of get better with backgrounds because I wanted it to be, you know, something where like each scene like feels intentional, and like as the scenes in my head eventually play out for the story that I'm writing, I'm really excited to like get to that. You know, it just occurred to me that even though I like a bunch of Steven Universe and Studio Ghibli backgrounds, a lot of my webtoon is actually not set in anything super similar. It's just not. Oh, hello. Here she comes trying to tell me it is time for bed. My cat has come to tell her mama, let's go to sleep. Hello, sweet girl. Hi. Oh, she is blinking really sleepily at me, and I must obey. Time to have her herd me to sleep, so she can watch her little show on my projector. Her show being one of those channels that films like hands only, while they make those fancy little cafe drinks. That is her show. She wants to sit there and watch it while I'm sleeping. I'm coming. Jesus Christ. She runs a strict program, you guys. She really does. So, I don't want to make her mad at me or any more angry, because she doesn't yell, but she's got that face that just you can tell she's disappointed in you. Oh my God, there she is. So yeah, but I am so excited for you guys to see. Just imagine if you think, because I was looking at this and I was like, it's not that bad. If you thought, oh, wait, what is she talking about? This is great. Which, if you do know how to draw backgrounds, you're not thinking this is great. But if you don't, if you, like me, don't know anything about drawing backgrounds, and you're thinking in your head, this is awesome. Imagine what this is going to be like by Friday, right? That's what I want you all to think about for your own art too. If you're looking at something and you're like, oh, okay, it's not that bad, or it is bad, whatever. Just, you have to sit there and tell yourself, imagine what it's going to look like. Insert whatever date, imagine what it's going to look like tomorrow, next week, next month, whatever. It's just, what matters is we have the starting piece today. So have a good night. I don't know why I'm telling you guys good night, because this is going to be a part of the bigger series. Not even a series, just a bigger video for background stuff. It's all going to get cut up and go into the culmination video. I don't know as of right now, as of Monday, well, now officially Tuesday, I do not know what my final piece is going to be, but I am excited for it, and I hope that you guys are too. So you will not have to wait as long as I do, obviously, because it's coming up in the rest of the video. But I'm gonna sign off from Monday Jayus right now and say good night. See ya. All right, we're back. It's Tuesday, JS. We have survived another work day. Just barely. I spent the whole day. Well, not the whole day. Why would I say that? Obviously, I was working, but I wrote out my script. Well, I wrote out like notes for like the beginning part. I still haven't decided. It's Tuesday. I put up a poll at this point. I still haven't decided how I'm going to format this, because I realize this is more of like a learn with me and not like a tutorial video. But I wrote out an intro that I'm probably going to record on Thursday. And I came up, where is it? With a plan, you guys. You can't see it, but it's there. It exists. I realized right after writing down Steven Universe style in Procreate, I literally put, I should probably do Clip Studio Paint, since that's where I actually make my webtoon. So we're gonna finish what we started in Procreate, and then we're gonna transition over to Clip Studio Paint, maybe for the rest of the time. I think that will just make more sense. But yeah, we gave ourselves 15 minutes yesterday, and I think I'm gonna stick with that. 15 minutes for just like a sketch and just like throwing stuff down so I don't think about it too much, and 45 minutes. I can't remember if I said this yesterday or not, because guys, I was so tired. Don't get a full-time job, you guys. Don't adult. It's tiring. It's the worst. It is not for the faint of heart, and yet here I am. But anyway, think I'm gonna stick with like 15-minute sketches and 45 minutes to like refine it so I can give myself a chance to maybe like get a little bit more comfortable with it. But that way it breaks up the hour. So we're gonna get into the 45 minutes for the Steven Universe thing. We're gonna finish that. However it looks is just how it's gonna look at the end of 45 minutes. I have to be okay with however it looks. You can't tell. The perfectionist really fought that sentence. Oh, she's not gonna be okay with it. She is not gonna be okay with it. I'm trying to figure out right now if I should like, you know what? I'm gonna get into headphones because that's gonna help me for my 45 minutes, whatever works, right? Um, yeah. Let's see where we go. I don't think it's really gonna be that bad. I finally get to use my headphones. That way I don't bother you guys by essentially just listening to the exact same TikTok edit 30 times over. Here we go. This is kind of cute. Hey, look at us. I have no words for me. I have no words. A fool. That's what I am. All right. I'm choosing a oh, you know what I should do? I just saw all of these like all of my like art inspo TikToks. I have, you know, on every single social media site, I have art tutorials. I have a playlist on YouTube of other people's art tutorials that I just keep on there. I have art tutorials here on TikTok, on Instagram. What else? What else? Pinterest, obviously, non-AI. Yeah, I just be collecting those. And you know what? I think if Monday Jayus had thought about it, we would have just started there. I probably would have been easier, but I don't do things the easy way, it seems, you know. I blame I blame that stubbornness on me being a Capricorn. There's nothing I can do. Can I not move this down? I should have just done it this way earlier. And you know what? If you were yelling at me yesterday to do this exact thing, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really am. Okay. You know what? We're just going to kind of mostly cover it. There we go. This is exactly how I should have done it. I'm not going to color pick though. We're still going to just use what we've been doing. I said that I wanted this to have like line art over it, which definitely means I'm gonna have to go over everything again, but you know what? We're gonna figure that out. The issue is I have no idea where to begin with like color picking this up. And maybe I should just like make it easier and do that, but you know what? There is something to be said about how truly humbling it is to be bad at something that you're gonna post online. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We gotta allow ourselves to be bad at it. That's the whole point of learning. I can't be I can't be like perfect at it just from starting. Ugh. What a rough lesson to learn, I really do hate it. But it's okay. I don't know what I'm doing with this blue. We're gonna figure that out later. How do people do this with like acrylic? You know? I feel like what I want to do next time is separate everything. Even though, as I'm saying it out loud, it sounds like it's just going to be a pain. Honestly, though, again, I know I keep kind of generally saying this, but I really don't think it is as bad as I keep thinking it is. I think especially once I get things over it, um, just to kind of help with the what's it called a bit? The with the texture a little bit. I think that's gonna help out. Guys, again, I'm telling you, I don't think it's as bad. Oh, okay, we're literally like halfway done. Okay, okay. It's gonna be okay. Guys, can we talk though about the difference? Hold on, hold on. I'm gonna turn off the reference for a second. OMG. All right. All right. You know what? This is gonna be great. I feel it. I feel it. I don't want to do this thing though every time I do a background where I do like the sketch and then the coloring and then a weird, not really painted, but like another coloring layer over it and then another thing over that. So I got to figure out a way to like tighten up this method. There's just always got to be like a slightly easier way, right? Okay, I see some parts where I didn't completely paint it, and you know what? We're not going to touch it anymore. I'm just going to make a little mini rule for myself right now. I'm not going back and painting. We are just going to focus on this. I kind of want the rocks. I don't do anything else. I want these rocks to be kind of I do want it to be just a little bit of a barrier. I'm trying to get to this point where I can like maybe do some lighting. I may not be able to. You know what? It's just gonna have to be like okay for now. It's the first one. I'm mostly telling me, not even you guys. Obviously, you guys know it's the first one. It's still just like I kind of like doing this because it does give it, I think, a little bit more. Okay, no talking. I'm gonna do that afterwards for the breakdown. Guys. Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna talk. I'm feeling like super erratic with this right now because I can just sense this thing is about to go off like any second now. I'm like, please, I'm so close. Don't you dare go off yet, timer. Don't you dare, please. Please. Why did my program stop? Guys, you see this sabotage right now? Come on. Procreate. You know what? This is why we're switching to Clip Studio Paint. You freaking nightmare. All right. Let's see if maybe we can. No, we cannot. Okay. Oh, wait. No, it won't even let me do this. Okay. Guys, that's not really working. You know what? It's fine. All right. I'm gonna waste out this clock now. Honestly, I think this looks pretty good. That's okay. All right. We are going to refresh this stupid program and then come back to it because what the heck? Oh, that pissed me off so bad, you guys. Here we go. Okay. You know what? Honestly, for just what it is. Oh, wait, you know what? We're just going to group it. There we go. Guys, from what it was, you know, like, let's talk about it. Oh, I forgot. I should probably also group this part in here. Oh my gosh. I hate that it does this. Okay. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. You know what? For 15 minutes to go from like this, you know what? Hold on. We got to full screen it for like 2 seconds. But for it to go from this to that in like an hour, like I didn't get to do what I wanted with the lighting and the water, but I think this works. And like I said, I got to figure out a way to do this where it's not just, oh, here's my sketch and then I color underneath it and then I color on top of it and then I draw more line art on top. I got to figure out a faster method for me. Because then, you know, I'm only going to go back in and like try to get some of these other parts that aren't maybe like completely filled in. But honestly, if I would love to blend the line art like a little bit more, and that's on me. But I think for what it was, okay, I'm about to pull up this reference again and I'm gonna, okay, actually, you know what? Not that bad. For an hour's work, it's really not that bad. It is not obviously the exact same, but I think this is kind of the style. If I can just work on the water, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it right now. And, you know, I can see like in this part, I couldn't figure out if that was supposed to be water or like the underside of the land. I think now looking at it, it's like the underside of the land. I just couldn't convey that and forgot to like try to delineate that. Ooh, $20 word. So yeah, but I think honestly, this is nice. I would put this, the other issue though is I would want to put this on like separate layers, like I was saying earlier. So like I'd want like the back like on its own layer. Color and line art. This is so much. Oh my God, this is so much. But I'd want it on a separate layer. If I had all the time in the world, right? But I'm not giving myself that during this learning experience. I would put it on a separate layer and I would maybe do some sort of like airbrush kind of going over it just to give it that softer look that it has like back here. Because unfortunately, again, I'm not the best when it comes to like color picking and just really kind of blending my colors together. It is something we'll work on. Maybe I'll do that the next time I want to do like a month, like a week of a month art challenge. Yeah. But I would do that so that it kind of blends in the background a little bit more. I'd want to find also a way to make the darkest trees up front stand out a little bit more. But honestly, I think for what it is, which is the first background that a character artist has done, this isn't bad. This isn't bad. It's gonna be fine. But we are gonna move on. Oh my God, I forgot my plan. This is why we write things down. Right. Oh, I was so ambitious. It's only 9:25 though. I have a couple more hours. Um, but yeah, I want to try like my hand at like a Studio Ghibli style one. I have before, but again, it was with like a bunch of pre-made brushes. I had no idea what I was doing. I wasn't really paying attention to like really layering it or really trying to make it that, but I kind of want that. That's like my main synthesizer. Like this is great. And I love like the colors of all of this, but I would want maybe a combination between the two, which I try to kind of do like here anyway, but yeah, we'll see. So we're gonna try Studio Ghibli style and maybe a cityscape because I realized earlier, along with the fact that I make my webtoon in Clip Studio Paint, my webtoon is set in a a very big city. So much as I also really love these more fantastic settings, I should definitely figure out how to draw some cities, even if it's just a simple city. So yeah, so we are going to switch to that. We are still Tuesday JS. We're gonna move over to the studio paintworks. Okay, back to studio mode. All right, but it's 9:40. We have made a decision. God, that's so small for me. But you know what? It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's all right. We are gonna give ourselves 15. Oh wait, here's my timer. Go back. Go back to 15 minutes. We are gonna give ourselves 15 minutes to get this. I think that's wild. But you know what? We're gonna do it. You guys believe in me? I'm gonna assume you said yes. You better have said yes. Why are you watching this video if the answer is no? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay, well, now I have time to think about how I want to do this. Okay. All right. So that was the timer. Oh, we got a lot further in this than we did the other one. And honestly, this sketch, I feel a lot more confident. I don't know why. It's still, but you know what? I feel very confident about this. I like this a lot, actually. Okay. Um, and I like where we're going with the line art. I feel like the line art's gonna help this be, you know, I feel like this is gonna help me like maybe compose it like a little bit more. And I gotta figure out if I like doing the line art first or after. Like I like it now because then I can like kind of move it if I want to. I can't really do that as much after without having to keep going back and forth. And I want to save myself from having to do that like as much as possible. But I think the colors are pretty much there. Like I'm telling you, if you blended this out, that's this little land area, you know? um yeah, I think I chose quite an interesting one because you have this little dip right here. I'm really not sure how to like convey that. I'm having a hard time figuring out how to show things kind of going inward on each other in the future. Um, but yeah. Oh, alrighty. Oh, here we go. I cannot do this until I start. Okay, 45 minutes. I believe in myself. I will say one thing I don't like about Clip Studio Paint that I really like about Procreate is that if you circle around something on a layer and there's nothing else except whatever lines you drew, Procreate's like, well, why would I, align this to anything else? We're just gonna focus on whatever's actually on the layer. Clip Studio Paint is like, oh, this giant circle you made, so you want to affect the whole circle? Why would you do that? I And don't get me wrong, I am not a Procreate like truther. I am not married to Procreate. I started my digital art journey with Clip Studio Paint, and it's always been an issue. But here I am, still loyal, always coming back to you, babe. But I gotta be honest about these problems. My goodness. my God, I just realized y'all can't see what I'm drawing. How long has this been going on? You guys didn't tell me. Y'all didn't want to tell me you couldn't see it. This is what I mean though. Like, again, I like the fact that I can move this now. Before, when I'm just drawing it, I can't really get that same feeling. I'm worried I'm spending a lot of time on this. Where are you? Oh my gosh. Guys. Okay. Okay. All right. No, we're playing around. um okay. I know this whole thing is like super wonky right now. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna very, very quickly try to clean this up. Okay. How are we gonna do this? I gotta see how much time I have. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're gonna put this over here. We got 10 minutes. I gotta actually like activate this pressure right now. Um, guys, I'm not gonna finish. It's gonna be fine. Oh, I just realized I'm painting directly on top. I'm not even on like an overlay. It doesn't matter. What if I give myself like 15 more minutes? Because I think I could actually make something color wise pretty good. You know, I would hate for it to like not happen. It's like, because you can still see like all of the sketch. Okay, yeah. Okay. This is going to run out. I'm going to give myself only 15 more minutes. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Okay, I'm gonna delete this. This is why you always keep a little additional copy. All right. Okay. Timer went off. We are doing 15 more minutes. Even that might be a little like not enough time, but honestly, it's gonna be fine. This was an ambitious piece, so I feel like this isn't too bad. I do have cloud brushes. I was debating whether or not I should use them like right now. You see the vision. It's okay. It's gonna be I was gonna say a little messy, but you know what? We just gotta own it. It's gonna be hella messy. It's okay. But I'm not gonna give myself another 15 minutes after this because I just wanted to kind of see where I could be with this composition. So wherever I am is just where I'm gonna have to be at the end of this, you know? The one thing I will say is that because I did line art first, any sort of like, I was about to call them ad libs, any sort of like extra things that I do for the uh for like grass or nature doesn't like automatically come through because now it's behind line art. So I don't know. I can't tell if this took longer because I tried to refine it with because I tried to refine it first, or if this was something that would have been super long like anyway, you know? I'm really just at this point trying to get rid of the sketch that is like behind everything. So that's why now it's like, oh, you were trying to be maybe a little cleaner with it before, and I was, but now I'm like, listen, I just gotta get this. I will say, even though, like, I wanted more time with this piece, I stand by my decision to really try to stick to like an hour because I think ultimately it does get me to the heart of this. It's not yellow enough. Honestly, it's fine. It's just gonna have to be okay. Alrighty. That's just gonna have to be it. Alrighty. Let's see how that is. Let's full screen this. Okay. We have, oh my gosh, looking at what it looked like. Okay, I feel worse about this one than I did the Steven Universe one, but that's because that one was a simpler, like, sketch style. This is like painted. Oh my god. Okay, but if we look at what the sketch was, honestly, you know what? It's coming together. I could see how maybe the next step would be even better. Guys, is it bad? Is it bad? I don't know. I feel like if I had to rate it, I give it like maybe a 3 out of 5, maybe a 2.5 out of 5. Only because I did run out of time, and even the 15 minutes didn't really like change things too much. But you can see the difference in form. Like there is a better composition. Again, is it this? No, it is not. But not as bad. All right. So I had one more thing that I wanted to do. There was cityscapes. And then there's another one. I feel like that because it's already 11:10 and I'm getting back to the same place I was at yesterday for Monday Jayus, and I actually need to get ready for bed for work. So I think I'm gonna end it here. Um, but honestly, I think between the two, I am starting to get a better style. I feel like I need to just find maybe a new brush. I don't know. Or maybe I just need to like, I think if I spent more time with this, I would like the line art brush that I chose for this a little bit more, because what I liked about the one in Procreate was just that it felt a lot sketchier. So maybe it's the fact that honestly I did use a more custom brush for this, but this is also the brush that I use for my webtoon. So like I thought maybe this would make more sense. Um but yeah, I think with this, I wasn't really as much of a fan of the texture. I didn't really get to add any texture into the line art. I think I just spent too much time trying to put that together. I think that was my downfall of the hour. Um, but honestly, I think looking at what it was originally and what I ended up making, especially considering I did not get really a chance to look at the reference while I was doing this because I didn't want to keep going back and forth with like, let me just go and see how I do. I honestly don't think this looks too bad. I think obviously I would have had some more time to kind of round out these colors a little bit more, um, because this is just like way too bright a green. Um, yeah. And I'm wondering how I would have done if this were maybe, I don't know. I don't really know what to say for it. Like the colors. I love these colors, but I definitely think maybe the palette of the other one popped a little bit more in terms of like what I was looking for like my webtoon and backgrounds for that. So who knows? But this is still, I think, very nice. I like how I got the dip. I'm not really good at perspective. And like I said, backgrounds are kind of all about putting things into perspective and where they all lay out with each other. But I think for what I have and what I did, and having to include a mountain and trying to get everything together. And as fast as that sketch came together, I really thought I was going to be able to finish it, but I think it's okay. I may go back after these challenges or not really after the challenge, we'll see, but I may go back after, um, like, I end up recording and try to see, if I give myself maybe like another hour in each thing or another 45, what it can end up looking like. Because again, I'm actually really impressed with the fact that, you know, it started off like this. Somehow it ended up coming to this. And there's like a little bit of texture, but like I said, I just wasn't really as much of a fan of the way like the foliage ended up looking um on the side of the mountain versus how we did the grass and the leaves in Procreate in that version. And again, it may really just be the style um that I the style of brush that I ended up choosing for this, but I really like it so far. Looking forward to what Wednesday Jayus has for you guys tomorrow. Well, tomorrow for me, but in like 2 minutes for you guys, if even that. And yeah, as I keep saying, if you think this looks good right now, imagine, imagine what Friday's version is going to look like. But yeah, I like this so far. It is very challenging. And this is definitely out of my comfort zone, especially like I said, having to reconcile being bad at something on the internet and knowing I'm gonna post it, it's gonna be up there. But honestly, that's how we learn. That's how we learn. And hopefully you guys are feeling something similar. If you are also taking time during this video to learn your backgrounds. And we shall see. Or I guess you shall see very, very soon. Bye. What is up, you guys? It's your girl Jayus on Wednesday. We are back for, I think, another two. I should have checked before I started this. Wednesday. Oh, no. We did one of these. We did the Studio Ghibli one yesterday. Okay. I checked. We are back for 2 more. We are gonna try something with buildings, more buildings than the windmills that we tried yesterday. Um, so we're gonna try cityscape, and if we have time, maybe a farm setting. The farm setting is intentional. I know I said that I was doing this for my webtoon and that my webtoon is set in a city. And it's not a spoiler to say that I don't have anything planned at a farm. They're pretty, it's a pretty urban setting. Um, but I do have other plans that may or may not take place on a farm. So I should learn how to do that so the scene will make sense when I get to it. As far as drawing. But I don't know why I'm so nervous. I guess because like the last one, like I didn't make it. I didn't make it through the hour, you guys. But you know what? We're not gonna let that bog us down. I still think I did a fairly good job. Yeah. You know what? My challenge is that like I'm good at recreating this and like what's given to me of somebody else who's already like done something, but I haven't really had to like interpret a piece yet. It's, I'm realizing as I'm speaking, I'm giving myself like a mini challenge within this challenge. What is wrong with me? Okay. But yeah, so I guess that'll be what I do. I guess I'm just gonna find a cityscape and or a farm thing, and I'm gonna try to interpret it. We're really speed running this. I feel like, normally I would do a few more studies just so I can get like the sense and the style, but we're gonna stylize right now. That's it. Yeah, we're basically learning this in 3 days. I know I said I gave myself like a week to learn everything, but actually it's literally more like 3 days. Because it's just been Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I can't really do anything on Thursday. I gotta spend time recording the script that I wrote for this or any voiceover. I'm really still not sure how I'm formatting this. So future Jayus, we know you figured it out. Sorry, we gotta leave it to you, girl. I'm so sorry. We are no help. We have no idea. We do have the script, but we don't know how it's all gonna come together. But if you are watching this, you know that she got it. So there we go. Okay. We are not gonna procrastinate. We are gonna do this. It's gonna be fine. I am hella nervous, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Okay. I'm gonna go find, I guess, a city first. Oh, what should I draw? Okay. I feel like New York is gonna be way too ambitious. New York is gonna stress me out. I shouldn't do it. I should not do it. New York is gonna stress me out too much. Oh, how do I even begin to like? Yeah, New York is a little too dense right now. We're not gonna do it. Maybe we just try. You know what? Let's not even give it a name. Let's just see what happens when I do cityscape photography. Of course, like I get this is gonna stress me out. Why did I do this? Oh, okay. Like that's so cool. I don't think I want to tackle that though. There's like no reason. Oh, no. I just thought of like, well, this would make a cool scene. No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do it. Are we gonna do that? I don't even know where to begin with this. This is like windy roads. This, you know what? It's gonna be perfect in terms of being able to have a bunch of colors come out. So Paul Reefer, we thank you, my guy. Thank you for that. Oh, you know what? Okay, now that I'm looking at it, outside of the stressful hour that it was when I was creating it, I stand by the fact that I don't think this is too bad, actually. I think if I gave myself another hour, I could really do something with this. I think the composition is nice. Yeah, I like it. I think I am going to go back. I think what I'm going to do is Maybe not like tonight. I'm gonna focus on the other things tonight, but what I am gonna do is I'm going to um focus like while I'm at work on trying to finish this a little bit more because this will be like an easy thing to like do while my boss is in like meetings and stuff like that. And he won't need me. So here we go. I'm gonna finish it, you guys. We're gonna do it. But right now we are going to swap gears and go to this other one. I don't know what to call this. We're gonna call it Cityscape. I'm gonna say practice. I feel like I gotta throw in the word practice each time just so my brain doesn't like, doesn't try to like mess up. Okay, we're just gonna scribble really quickly. There we go. I gotta save it, obviously. Okay. Oh dear, my dad is trying to call me. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna pause. And I'm gonna call him, I guess. I can't ignore him. So, funny story. It is now Thursday, actually. I went to go start on the sketch after choosing a cityscape to draw. And then my dad called, and then like right after that, I got on the phone with my siblings, and then that was the end of my night. So here we are on Thursday. We have not started it. I didn't even get into the 15-minute sketch. So we're gonna do that today. And I'll see if I'm feeling another one after that. We'll see. I'm not really great with like grass yet, so I don't know if we'll do the farm setting. Maybe that'll be like a future one, or it could be, you know what? I have an idea, but I'm not going to spoil it yet. It's going to make sense later though. In like 3 weeks time from now, it will make sense. But we're going to get started. We're going to get into the sketch, and then we are going to finish this. And then I got to record like, I don't know how I'm doing this. It's Thursday, Jayus, and I still don't know how I mean to put this video together. I don't know if it's going to be like just a compilation of all of the days of Jayus's, or if it's going to be like a voiceover at some point in time. I don't know. We're gonna see. We'll figure that out. It's okay. Friday Jayus is gonna know, and you guys are gonna know. You guys will know before Friday Jayus knows. No, Friday Jayus will know before you guys know. I'm wasting brain power. Let's get into it. All right, let's start. 15 minutes. Okay. Okay, guys. It may not make sense right now, but do trust. I have a vision. Oh my gosh. Honestly, this curve tool is helping us so much. Sticking with paint. Y'all might have done your big one, when it comes to this, when it comes to them finally giving us like the auto like shape and line tool. Guys, I keep choosing over ambitious things to do. But you know what? That's how we learn, honestly. We just got I just gotta like remind myself that in the future, it's not always gonna be me just giving myself an hour, right? When I'm actually working on this stuff. I know it's like 30 seconds too early, but you know what? I'm not upset with this. I'm really not. Like especially like okay. Yeah, I'm not too upset with that. I'm curious how this is gonna turn out when I do this whole um color thing. Shoot. Okay. All right, all right. We're gonna do it. Okay. 45 minutes. We're just gonna go for it. That's like literally all I can do. We're just gonna go for it. Let's see how this goes. My brain is like trying to come up with, how to do this like right now. I'm like, okay, well, you guys are gonna figure that out with me, I guess. I'm not the biggest fan of it so far, but again, it's gonna be fine. We are working out how all of this is supposed to work. So it's gonna be okay. You look at it far away. It looks okay. It's just, oh goodness. Okay, okay. I fear I made this look too naturey. There's like so many trees. You know what? It's gonna be fine. We're just gonna ignore the fact that, these buildings are coming straight out of trees. Who knows? Maybe they've done a really good job at reintroducing um little infrastructure thing, Maybe. We don't know. Actually, you know what? I'm the one who made it. So I'm going to say I do know, and they did. How about that? Guys, I may give myself more time on this. I don't know. I still got to get to like the main freaking part. Okay, actually, I have an idea. I am going to give myself more time on this. But we're not going to obviously give up just yet. Righty. Okay. So at the end of 45 minutes, this is how far we've gotten. I think what I'm going to do is not do the farm aspect of it. And instead, I'm going to start with 30 minutes. I'm going to see where I go from there. But I want to break up the hour that I would have given to that piece into this and possibly another piece. We'll see where we're at with 30 minutes. It might go for a full hour in here. Alrighty. 30 minutes. Let's do this. I believe in this, you guys. I think this could actually turn out great. So let's see. All right. My hope is that I'm gonna be able to do like line art over this again. It's just gonna have to be okay. We still have like a little over 10 minutes. No. I'm definitely gonna need the other 30. I think also if I just gave myself some time to think, maybe it would be a little bit different, but it's not right now. I feel like this really is like all gonna come together with the line art, you guys. You know, just believe in me. We got like 3 minutes left on this timer. 30 minutes goes by so freaking fast. What the heck? How dare it? You know, doesn't it know that we have somebody who's trying to learn backgrounds over here? Okay. It's been 30 minutes. Um, we are further. I want to let me save. There we go. We are further along than where we were. I'm gonna try to get through line art. I'm gonna spend 30 minutes more on this. We're gonna try to get through line art and maybe lighting. I have no idea. I have no idea, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Okay. All right, you guys. Ooh. Okay, I'm actually not going to touch the trees yet. The trees, I think, are going to take me a super long time. They are a trap. Also, when I said I'm not going to touch trees, what I meant really was I'm not going to do like anything in between. I don't know what to do for this. I need my brightness to stop fighting against me on my iPad right now. Oh my gosh. I see like so much stuff that I want to do, but I'm not sure I'm gonna be able. Oh, I was saying like I doubt this is how long it's like actually supposed to take. Um, if there's anyone in here who just happens to be a background artist or more confident in backgrounds and is like, first of all, thank you for being in here. I'm sure you're looking at a bunch of stuff and going, no, don't do that. But thanks for being here. If I could ask one more thing of you though, could you tell me, like, could you like maybe ballpark how long you think this stuff like normally like takes? Like, cause I'm not really going for like a super painted style anyway. So it's gonna be, I don't know. I know it's gonna take some time, but wondering if maybe there's anything I can do to kind of like make it a little bit, shorter. Yeah, I'm like looking, and part of it is because I had to be zoomed all the way out for this. So maybe I just need to find like a different way to film this next time so that I can have more space, or maybe I do it on my actual like um drawing tablet since I have a Cintiq, a Wacom. Is it Wacom? Wacom. What was I saying? um, my tablet, right. I was saying that maybe I do it that way. Um, so I can at least have some more like screen, like for everything, really. And I think like if I had more time, like I would have been able to see. It's just that I couldn't spend all this time trying to go back and forth. And honestly, you could argue I should have thought that, a cityscape was going to have a bunch more like, drawings of, not drawings, but drawings for me, but pictures for them of freaking, what's it called? Um Buildings. Can you tell, you guys, that I'm starting to lose my mind? We're already like almost halfway through. Isn't that crazy? Oh, you know what I am gonna do? One thing that I'm gonna solve is I'm gonna add the picture that I'm drawing. Um, I'm gonna add the picture that I'm drawing to the video so that you guys are able to draw along. At this point in said video, you're probably like, yeah, JS, you've been doing that. We've been following along, which, okay, smarty pants. Some of us just figured that out. But that way I get to see, if you have been following along, how you interpreted this. Probably with more, what's it called? Uh, Probably with more buildings, which would have made sense. It's too late now, but it would have made sense. Honestly, one thing that I ended up doing, also, like I forgot to mention while I was making backgrounds for my webtoon, um, was use like 3D models and assets and try to build it from there. But I was still running into, the same general issue of I have the models, but then I can't lay them out on screen well because sure, that will make it easier and faster for me, but I can't tell what I'm supposed to be doing. I gotta be honest, I actually hate everything I'm doing with this right now. But you know what? We are learning. I feel like it's too glowy. Honestly, it's fine. It's okay. The timer's up. This is just gonna have to be it. Okay. I'm just not a fan of the texture, but I like the colors. Okay. All right. It's been now 2 hours that we have worked on this piece as somebody who does not do backgrounds at all. Um, I really don't like that I tried to add these street lights. Actually, I'm wondering. Oh, well, I can't take it off because it's in the picture. Do we like it a little more? Like, you know what? Yeah, I think I am going to take it away from that. But, okay. So, my depth perception on this, perception, my perspective on this is just, it's non existent. But it's honestly, again, I don't draw cities like at all. Um, I don't know how to like practice and put my characters, or maybe, you know what? Hold on. Actually, I think I'd like making, hello. I think I like making my backgrounds more in Procreate, but I think that's just because I didn't like the brushes. I never took the time to like figure out a brush. Right, gang? What do we think? So I'm not again the biggest fan of how the background is, but I think it kind of fits, you know? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay, so we full screen it. Honestly, I think this kind of works. I still have to, it's funny because again, I drew this in Procreate. I need a brush that just, ugh, that works with that. And yeah. But I think also if I like composed it around this a little bit more, it would have made more sense. Um, let's, now that we've done that, I don't know. I don't even know where to put them so that they look like natural or anything. You know what I mean? Mm, okay, but actually, okay, again, I'm not sure how to like fully feel about this, but I don't think this is too bad. Honestly, I don't think it looks too bad. Again, I'd want to sharpen my sense of, I think I definitely need to work on like my line weight. A lot of this is like also highlighting other skills that I have neglected, which is my line weight and perspective, being able to blend colors a little more easily. Obviously, I rely very, very heavily on my layers and things like that. And like filters is what I mean. Um, and layer modes. There we go. That was the word I was trying to find. Guys, I'm sorry. It's late and I need to eat. um, but I don't think it's too bad. I think between the two, I think these colors just naturally work a little bit more, but I just need to like, I need to play around with the brushes so I can find something more comfortable. And obviously, again, this is because I am speed running this and giving myself only an hour, two in this case, to do this. But I don't think for what it was and for not knowing how to do backgrounds and for what it my backgrounds looked like before, I don't think this is too bad. So hopefully in the next version of this learn with me, for backgrounds at least, I can have I don't know why I still got these on. I'm probably like shouting. Um, but I was saying hopefully for the next like version of this learn with me, um, for backgrounds, I'll be a lot more comfortable. I don't think I'm really going to run into this issue when it comes to anatomy or side profiles, just because I do feel comfortable. It's funny because, again, I feel very comfortable with these brushes when I'm doing character art. And most of that is because I am a character artist. So I don't know yet how to layer my own brushes, or maybe I just haven't explored it enough in order to um, give things that texture that they want. Um, it also probably would have helped again if I just had like more buildings or had been able to do like more lighting, been able to separate things. All of this really just comes down really essentially to time. But speaking of time, I have had a great time with this so far. I think honestly, now that I have like the characters over it, even though it's more background heavy, I like it a little bit more. Even though I didn't really like it without the characters, I think having the characters helps to center it a little bit more. But I need to just do pure like background studies, just drawing scenes, essentially. But I had a great time with this. I'm definitely going to be doing more of this moving forward. And like I said in the beginning of this part of the video, I have a little secret. I have a little idea about what I'm going to do for some of the things that I wasn't able to get to. So I'm very, very excited. I'm telling you, the more I look at it and like I can see it on the screen over here, the more I'm actually starting to like it. Um, I completely lost my train of thought though. But yeah, I'm excited to see also what you guys have made for this. Hopefully you were able to pause and give yourself more time than the 2 hours I was able to give myself here. And who knows, maybe your 2 hours look very, very different from mine. So I will be very excited to see what you have been able to create in that time and that space. Don't forget that if you do, I have created the hashtag draw with Jayus over on Instagram and on TikTok because I would love to be able to see your process in this. This is a learn with me. So please don't let me be by myself in this. It's okay if I am, honestly. I decided a long time ago that even if I have to do things by myself, I'm going to do it. So it's okay, but I do hope that you have been able to learn something as well from this entire study. Honestly, I am excited to be able to start incorporating this a little bit more. I do think I got better, especially after the first one with placement. Even though I know I've been saying that my perspective isn't my greatest skill in this case. I think I did a better job here, especially just in this little triangle section with the water. The roads, the highways, who knows where these people are going because they're not connected in any way. And the safest people are the ones on top, I guess. But who knows where they're going? But that's okay. These are fictional people. It doesn't have to make any sense or anything. But I'm so excited. I think I'm going to pass this off one more time to the recording Jayus that is talking to you guys, maybe in voiceover. But just in case I do not decide to do that, because that will be a thing that Jayus has to figure out in about an hour after she eats. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had a great time, or at least was able to laugh. Part of this series, I think, is just going to be me being able to laugh at myself a little bit and being like, ooh, okay, not my favorite. But I'm curious what your favorite was out of the 3 that I ended up doing. Which one were you most curious and hoping that I would do a little bit more, or that you want me to go back to, and I can share a little progress update on that over the weekend. I'm going to be planning the next one. I already have a different idea about how I'm going to structure the anatomy series for week 2. So next Friday, definitely tune in so that you can see me work on anatomy. I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler. We are going to be looking at the male physique a little bit. Just because I've never been the best at that, but we are, we're not only focusing on that. So if you, like me, draw a lot of pretty girls and are very, very comfortable in that, great. Maybe we will learn a lot in next week's part of this series, but I hope you had a great time. And I really hope you will consider liking and subscribing so that we can see more of each other in the future. But until next time, keep creating, keep challenging yourself, as we always end up doing on this channel. And I'll see you in our next creative adventure. Bye. You're probably sick of seeing me now, right? I hope not. That's gonna be super awkward for this channel if so, but I'm gonna try to keep this outro short, considering you've just seen me work my way through backgrounds for the past 2 hours, which thank you so much for that, by the way. Super appreciate it. I realize I Never mentioned what my greatest struggle with this was over the 3 pieces. And now that I've had time to edit everything, obviously I thought it would just be good to mention that in case anyone else found themselves struggling with the same thing, or if you just wanted something where I just kind of quickly, and succinctly say, hey, here's what I learned, or here are my challenges. I talked a lot about like the things that I liked at the end of Thursday JS, but there were like a couple of things that I think she missed over it. So yeah, I think the hardest thing for me during this week was finding the focal point. When I'm drawing characters, I have their line of action in mind, and I'm clearly more comfortable with where things fit in regards to making proportional bodies and faces. And I think you can definitely see me like start to grow in finding and trying to recreate that focal point of each study like throughout the week. With the first piece, I started on the foreground, but then from Tuesday onward, if you notice, I was picking up where to start my vanishing point. So there we go. She was learning something across those 3 pieces. I have some ideas on how to practice that in the future, and you'll have to let me know if you want to continue seeing how I learn things when I actually give myself more than an hour to do so. But overall, I think my other struggles were just figuring out how to break like down like what I was trying to draw into basic shapes, which might have also worked better for me if I could have also decided to stick to line work or color blocking first. I have like so many TikTok tutorials of artists who do those like super cool acrylic marker background tutorials. They're so cool. So while like I'm working on anatomy for week 2 of this April art challenge, rest assured I will still be working on backgrounds and probably incorporating some of those little videos. Because maybe we just throw line art over it at the end, right? Yeah, we'll figure it out. But I hope you decide to stick around to see that and more of what I do on the channel. This video is unlike most of my other ones since I've never really done one that's like been pieced together over several days. I literally built this each day with no idea, as you heard several times, of how I was going to put all of this together into one video. And I've definitely never done like what I'm going to end up calling like a learn with me video, since it's not really a tutorial because I'm not teaching you guys. You're watching me actively learn something. So who knows? Maybe this is just backgrounds number 1. Oh God, I should not say this out loud. Again, that public pressure, man. I just be saying things and then I'm like, well, I said it out loud. So now somebody's going to be waiting for backgrounds number 2. It's too late. I've already said it. I can't even if I go back and like I edit and cut it out because I said it while recording myself, my brain is like, you got to do it now. So I guess that's what we're doing. You'll just have to let me know when you want to see backgrounds number 2 and maybe what you want me to focus on. But where was I going with this? I liked this. That's where I was going originally with that. I think we are going to try to cut down the next ones in this series like in the future. So over the next like 2 weeks, we are going to try to bring that down a little bit, but hopefully it was something that you were able to draw along to or just put on in the background while you stop procrastinating on your own project. I know, how dare I call you out like that? I'm sorry. But I promise I don't do that in my other videos. So if you would like to find me on my other sites, be sure to check out the links below. I've got more gaming and art related content planned for you guys shortly. So for the last time in this video, I know the previous days of JSS have said it, but this is your final one.